Welcome back to Tiny Pulpit Talks. We are so delighted you're here. Subscribe, like us. I'm speaking quickly because we have lots of questions to get through today. So today is Ask the Minister Something, and we have lots of amazing questions. So we're just going to get started right in. One question. Hello, international friends. We are so glad you're here. We got a question. How do members of the church experience church life abroad? Are they just watching the service, or are there any special classes or activities? Do they feel more involved? Where are they in the world? So we have some active members in Europe, in Spain. We hear from people around other parts of the world. Not as many active there, but yes, people watch church. Time zones are an issue. We're doing our best with that, but we broadcast at many different times, so hopefully they can watch. There are online classes and an online coffee hour that international folks sometimes attend. And we are looking forward to a future where there is even more engagement online and even a hub for folks to come and join in and understand and take classes and engage more. It is peak on our minds. We love you. We are glad you are here, and we want you to be part of our future. And any way we can do that, we want to hear from you. So I know you asked us a question, and now I'm giving you an assignment, but that's just how we roll here. So that's the deal. Next question. Do you surf? Do you play the ukulele, which is actually pronounced ukulele? And what is your favorite Hawaiian food? Okay, so I moved here from Hawaii. Y'all, I'm here. I'm in Texas. I grew up in Plano. Yes, I was in Hawaii. But yes, I did do all those things. I own many Aloha shirts. I preached every Sunday in bare feet. And I surfed, not well, but well enough to get by, well enough to go on a surf trip, do things like that. Yes, I can play the ukulele, but only because I can play the guitar, and it's more like a simple guitar. I would just read the chords, but every Christmas we would do an ukulele choir for Christmas carols, and we'd have a simplified chord sheet to play these songs. It was darling. It was really wonderful. What is my favorite Hawaiian food? Not a lot of Hawaiian food is plant-based. I gotta tell you, I mean, the stuff that is like taro, which is great, you have to kind of mix it with fish and other stuff to taste good. I mean, seaweed, I liked a lot of the seaweed. There are just so many different kinds of beautiful seaweeds in Hawaii. So I would say that is what I have to say about my experience in Hawaii. And some folks said that they visit there a lot. Please visit. It's wonderful. But living there is a very different experience than visiting. And that's all I'm going to say about that. So we're moving into questions about my day. And my day is just my day. All the ministers here and all the staff here are doing all kinds of things all day long. But for me, I roll in on Sunday around 8:45, I leave around noon, and that's actually all I do here at church. I'm sorry to say. I'm just kidding. I hope you all don't think I was serious. But many people, I'd say 80%, maybe 90% of the church only sees how ministers spend about 10% of their time. The rest of the time, I mean, it's not like a mystery. I can tell you what I have been doing. So last week, for instance, I'm just looking at my calendar. Let's just look at last week. We have a staff meeting every Monday. Then we talk about pastoral care for hours, thinking about how we care about you, strategizing for how we care for folks that need support, then planning a chaplain meeting. We have a lay chaplaincy program starting, so we're planning training for that. Then I went to see Jacob Collier, which was amazing. Then I have a one-on-one with my supervisor, with Daniel, and then the worship team meets. We're going to talk more about that eventually, but the worship team is all the ministers, the director of music, the director of video production. We have this collaborative meeting every week. Then I was filming some of these podcasts. Then I was working on a project we have forthcoming about a writing project for the three ministers, more soon. I had meetings about hiring. There's a lot of transition going on right now. That's all just Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday morning, I tend to write. Whatever deadlines I have, I'm writing on Wednesday morning. So if you can't email me or you can't reach me, it's because I'm just trying to get something done. Then I had a sales meeting, someone trying to sell us something, and I had to do that. I had a beautiful lunch with a congregant after that on Wednesday. Anyone who wants to go to lunch, I'm always around. Just let me know. And then I facilitated with our director of pastoral care and some other people the Navigating Grief class. You get the idea here. There's a lot going on. I mean, that's just Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, off in memorials. Fridays I'm off. But this is what I'm doing sort of during the day, is really thinking about ways to care for you, to love you, and to hold this community together along with the other people who serve this church in that capacity. So that's a lot of what I do in any given work week. We had a few questions about that. Someone asked, what's a typical work day schedule? That's impossible to answer because it's just different every day. So here's a question. How do I explain UU to my friends? You should take our elevator speech class. That's a way to narrow down what we say about Unitarian Universalism real clearly. But since some people are just starting to really understand their faith, one thing I like to say, like, how do I explain UU to my friends, is our affirmation is one of the best ways to do that. Love is the doctrine of our church. It's at the core of what we do. Service is our prayer. So we make actions, we do deeds, we show the way we love the world in the way we care for the world. And those are some of the ways I think people will understand it in a way. I think sometimes the question is really more, where does Unitarian Universalism fit in sort of the North Texas idea of religion and faiths? And in those cases, you can say, we started as a Christian church, many of us still have Christian beliefs, but we really hold and try to find the truths of many faiths as one. And that's really one of the best ways that I think people of certain ages start to understand it. You'd be surprised how many people just go, oh, that sounds nice, and walk away. And anyone who's like really digging on it and really wants to kind of understand are one of two people. They're either going to try to save you, which in our faith, you're already saved. You are saved by birth. You were fine. And someone else who might be curious about coming. So either of those people you can invite to church, and you'll find out which kind of person they are and why they're asking those questions. And we'd love to welcome them too. Which brings us to our final question for today. How to welcome faiths that don't respect our pillars, inherent dignity for all, and things like that. This is a big question, how to welcome faiths. I think when I hear welcome, I'm thinking about, how do we hold people who are coming through our doors on Sunday? How are they going to experience worship? How are they going to experience our classes? And in that case, we are pretty aligned with Unitarian Universalist traditions and teachings, and those are contrary to many of the world's faith traditions, is the way they're kind of expressed. Not all, but some. So the question might be, for me, and not to change your question, but the question, maybe just skipping that welcome word, is how do we respect other faiths? And I think that is one of the great puzzles of our time. How do we love across difference? How do we find commonality where there seems to be conflict? And this all comes to, I think, how do we raise our children in love? How do we care for the weak among us? How do we care for the needy in our midst? And these are the questions I think the real true faiths of this world have been asking for centuries, for millennia. And I think when we get to those questions, and not about solving problems or fixing people, but loving people where they are, meeting people where they are, and holding space where we can have these loving conversations that increase understanding and awareness without the need for compliance or without the need for meeting some kind of faith litmus test. For us, I think that is how, and I might be answering my question, the first question of how do I explain Unitarian Universalism to my friends? That might be one of the best answers we can give. So I'm glad you all asked these questions. I'm glad you all put up with my rapid fire responses today. And I hope that you will send us more questions, or that these questions raised others. Let us know, subscribe, find out more information. You can just ask us, or just, comment, or let us know what you're thinking, what's on your mind. Or if you hate us and you think we're going to hell, bring it. We hear it every day. But we love you. We're sending our best, and we want to hear from you, and we'll see you again very soon. Bye-bye from Tiny Pulpit Talks.